Thank you so much for joining us for the 24th Annual Garden State Film Festival. This year we have over 200 films and film-centered events from various countries, all happening across 9 venues from March 26th to the 29th this year. Joining me today are director-writer Ryan Saline and writer-producer Drew Sutton of the homegrown documentary short Champion Chronicles, Defying the Odds. Ryan, Drew, thank you so much for joining me today, and congratulations on your documentary short making it into the Garden State Film Festival.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We're so excited.
Yeah, happy to be here.
So please tell our live audience a bit about this documentary.
So this documentary centers around a football player named Caleb Wagner, and he plays for Southern Illinois University, and he was born with one hand. So we had him on our podcast. When he was on our podcast, he had just broken Derrick Henry's single game rushing record. So he ran for 526 yards in one game in high school, and he did it with like one hand. So everybody wanted to talk to him. And so after we had him on the pod, I was going to be really cool to have him on a documentary. Fast forward 2 years later, and he became the first person in his family to go play college football and get a scholarship and go play with having one hand, which is incredible, and nobody else was talking about it. And I was like, wow, all these big media companies wanted to talk to him when he broke the record, but now no one's covering it. And that's the real story. The real story is him making it to college and bettering himself and getting an education. So that's kind of what we wanted to center the documentary around.
That's amazing. What was this filming process like for you, going from, having him on your podcast, if you can speak on that a little bit, and then taking it onto the screen?
So this is totally new for me. I had never done a production like this before. I was used to just doing Zoom podcasts. So I kind of let Drew take the lead on that one, because he handled all the production side of it.
Yeah. Just backtracking a little bit, to give a little insight, this is all done through, Ryan's nonprofit Greater Than the Game. And, the initiative that, Ryan, I don't know if you want to, share, what that is, but, really is telling stories that are inspiring in the world of sports.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Ryan and I have, we've had a relationship. We work together. Actually became a board member of the nonprofit, and we have, we decided to. Do we need to cut this?
No, you're good.
Okay.
No, you're good. You guys.
That was just a nice little cameo here. So with all this going on, we worked on different productions before, and then this opportunity came along, and so Ron and I discussed it, and we decided to produce a documentary. So Caleb, he was attending Southern Illinois University, and so we discussed the logistics and how we're going to make that happen, and to fly out there and film a documentary. So, it was great. From my background, I work in video production. I have a video production company. So I've worked on, all different sizes, scale productions, and, from commercial, corporate, documentary. And so tackling this was, it was a fun task. It was just really working around the logistics and the tight timelines of when we could get out there and when we could meet with Caleb, the rest of the team during training camp. We wanted to be there a little bit longer. Would have loved to have been there also during the actual season, the game. But what we were able to do was really limited. But we worked with the cards that we were dealt.
Yeah. So, this sounds like an amazing story that I am surprised I haven't heard anything of it. I do dabble a little bit in watching college football, so the fact that I haven't heard about Caleb is crazy. I'm definitely going to be looking more into him and probably speaking on him more so to my friends that are also into college football, because maybe they know about him and I don't, because again, I dabble in it. I'm not like a diehard. But with that, what would you say was your favorite part of this entire process? And what was also the most challenging part of this entire process for you?
I think probably the most exciting part of it was seeing him in action, being able to be on the field and see him put in the work on the field and off the field, being in the locker room, being in the weight room, seeing all this stuff that goes into him being great, and how much he has to overcome, how much he has to adapt to what he does, was really, really special to kind of see that behind the scenes part, because everybody sees on the field on Saturdays. Not everyone gets to see the lead up to that, and that's the kind of thing we want to share, like that whole being greater than the game and just overcoming all kinds of obstacles. So it was really cool to kind of have that window and allow him to tell his story, because a lot of times in interviews I saw that people were trying to tell his story. This time we wanted him to tell us.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool to give him a platform to do that.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
sorry,
You
go
know,
ahead.
I'll add it also. I mean, personally speaking, I mean, one, the production component is I always love, creating beautiful visuals and most importantly, telling a story. Really, at the end of it, being able to, we had all the conversations, prior, throughout pre-production, we do our homework and get all the stories and learn and know what's going to be said. And so once we actually get everything filmed, recorded, and being able to turn that into a story and then seeing the end result, right? That's really what I personally love the most, and just being able to tell a story that can inspire. And this is a story. There's so many stories out there that aren't told that, can help others. And that's really the impact that we want to have, being able to, find what these are. And, it's, Caleb, will he go on to be, an NFL star? Possibly, if not, he still overcame a challenge, and he really, really pushed forward. And that story is something that we just wanted to be able to communicate to others. And, of course, that's, this is one of many. We have more documentaries that we're working on, but throughout everything, that is kind of the core of our philosophy and really what drives us.
No, that's really an amazing message. So I have both of my hands, but I have a poorly working pancreas. I'm a type 1 diabetic and have been since I was 11. And so that has, like, seeing something like this, although it is a different obstacle, I can relate to it in that it is something that was out of my own control and is something that I have to overcome every day in the things that I want to do. And so seeing someone like him do something like this speaks volumes to someone like myself. And that's just being a type 1 diabetic. I know plenty of people who have different, medical anomalies that were out of their control that they have to overcome every day to do the things that everybody else gets to do just so normally. And so thank you for sharing something like this, because it speaks to so many people, especially like myself included. So from myself, thank you. And to the many people, I'm sure you're absolutely helping with this, of course, as well. What would you say between the two of you was an inspiration for the style that you used, being a documentary you've seen or a director otherwise that you've seen?
I'm going to let Drew take that one.
There isn't really one. I can't say that there's one director, one documentary that really motivated me. There's so many. For me, I'd rather it's Friday night if I'm staying in, popping on Netflix. It's usually gonna be a documentary that I'm watching, rather than a movie. So that being said, going back to what I was just sharing before, like I can't say it's just one director, but it's really just the feeling that you get after watching a documentary. So I remember like The Social Dilemma being one, how impactful that was, and how that made me feel after the fact, with all the information that was given to me and the motivation that I had to, okay, what changes do I need to do, and even little things like YouTube videos. Motiversity is a huge one. Ryan, I know you watch that, but like I'll listen to those while I'm working out. And so like that feeling was inspiration. Those moments where I'm like, oh wow, yeah, like let me push forward. Let me, just get to the next step of whatever I'm trying to achieve in that moment. Or, inspire others, or have this awareness of like, wow, this is the impact that this is having. Like, what can I do to change my life that it's not going to impact me, or whatever the case is. That's really the driving factor. So, it was through a number of documentaries. I can't just point to one.
One of my favorite lines in the documentary is Caleb talks about how everybody's going to face hurdles. And we caught him actually doing hurdles. So we were able to pair that up. He's in the gym, going over and under hurdles. And we were able to use that as B-roll. And he's like, I want to be a role model, not just for kids with limb differences. I want to be a role model for everybody. And so that was kind of going back to what Drew was saying about the feeling, that motivational, inspirational feeling. That's what we really wanted to hone in on and show kids, you can just do it. You can do it.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I mean, between, the two of you, where does Defying the Odds fall for you in your journeys as filmmakers?
I mean, it's the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the beginning. Ryan, I'll let you speak on it, on this from your angle, from Greater Than Game. Personally speaking, I, as I mentioned, I have a production company, do a lot of corporate commercial work. And it's great. That's, the client work is, what pays the bills, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the passion work is making an impact. And I know Ryan can say the same. That's, the reason why he founded Greater Than the Game. And so, with this being documented, we have another one lined up that we'll be producing this coming year. And, personally speaking, I have several topics that I really want to touch base on, even with mental health, social media. It's such a big theme nowadays. But again, overall, just that drive to help others. And if there's one life that you can touch and have an impact on, that in itself is invaluable. And again, I know Ryan feels the same. And Ryan, I'll let you speak on, anything you'd like to share with us as well.
So for me, it showed me what was possible with our platform. That we weren't just a small nonprofit. That we could compete with the big guys. That we could put productions on that would wow people. It just showed hey, we can do this. And it was my first adventure into filmmaking and filming a documentary. So it was just like Drew said, it was just the start. It was just so exciting to I'm doing something that I didn't know was possible to do, and so it was almost defying the odds, making the documentary, and then to tell Caleb's story. It was just a kind of full circle moment.
That's amazing. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today and sharing this documentary and everything that went into it with me and our live audience. Will I have the pleasure of meeting you both in person at the festival in March?
I'll be there. Yes.
Fantastic. Ryan?
My best friend's getting married that weekend. And he didn't tell me until I applied for the documentary. So he's like, "Guess what? I'm getting married on the 28th." I was like,
You know what? That's okay. I'm so happy that I had the pleasure of meeting you, at least in this way. Drew, I do look forward to meeting you in person. For our live audience, we hope to see you at the Garden State Film Festival this year with over 200 films screening across 9 venues, including hosting parties, panels, events, and more. Get your tickets at gsff.org/tickets. The Champion Chronicles, Defying the Odds will be screening on Saturday, March 28th at Asbury Lanes during the film block 2:45 p.m. to 5 p.m. Ryan, Drew, thank you so much again for joining me today, and I hope you both have a lovely rest of your day.
Thank you. It's great being here. You take care.